What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Some commentary for you tonight. Do me a favor, take a moment, like button, subscribe button. I don't know if there's much criticism to leave, but if you have any, I know our guest tonight, Danny Jugan, is welcome to accept it. He is the creator of Access Football. I've had Danny on a few times. We've given away some copies of the game, and every time I have Danny on, he's quick to point out a few things. Number one, he listens to the community. Number two, he's transparent with the community. And number three, he's either made big strides in his game or he has basically a big announcement to make about his game. So the last time we spoke, you actually made the transition to mobile, and I know that's went very well for you. So you've got the game coming out shortly. Can you talk about what changes you made from the community's responses to Access Football?
Absolutely. So the first thing you'll notice when you look at screenshots or you play the game is the graphics are way better. We updated the player models, the field textures, the crowd, everything you're going to see is way better. The number one thing that the community was asking for was more animations. This year we've added over 100 animations, everything from O-line, D-line interactions with swim moves and better blocking, to juke moves and spins and dives and better player controls. So the game looks a lot better in terms of the integrity of the movements and that sort of thing. One of the other big things that we've added this year that came directly from requests from the community was more modding. We completely opened up the team aspect in terms of modding the teams. You can now change the name of the teams, all of the logos and icons associated with the teams. That includes the on-field graphics. So the logo that appears in the middle of the field, that's moddable. So you can sub in and put in whatever logo you want there. Same thing for the end zones. I know we have members of the community that have already gone in and created a ton of mods. And that's going to basically allow you to drag and drop right into your mods folder, and you'll have a completely different set of teams, all with player attributes and that sort of thing. And so we're really excited with the release coming up in about a month here, and really looking forward to people getting their hands on the game. And I just scratched the surface of the changes that we've made, but we have completely overhauled several aspects that we don't have time to get into tonight, but really looking forward to people having a chance to play the game because we're proud of what we've done.
And obviously graphics, to be honest with you, I think you know this as well, were one of the big downfalls when it came to the game, just visually standing up against in-market products. When you are looking at building the game and making it better, how do you prioritize, we want the game to play better, but we also need it to look better? Apart from the graphic updates, what else were you prioritizing to make this game, look like an entirely new product from last year to this year?
Well, one of the things we wanted to do was look at it from a variety of viewpoints. Like when you play a football game or you watch a football game, it's not just what you see. It's what you feel when you move the characters. It's what you hear from the announcer. So one of the things that we did, and we got a lot of feedback on the announcer, is we hired a professional voice actor that's got experience in announcing, and we got rid of all of the old audio files and had them completely redone. Pretty transparent about the fact that we had about $400, $500 that we worked on for the original Access Football. And so we didn't have any money for an announcer. We had a guy basically using like a $10 mic in a bathroom, and that's why it sounded the way it did. So we've got a high-quality professional announcer. He completely redid all of the quarterback audio. So the game is going to sound different. We added lots of sound effects. One person who played the beta today pointed out immediately that he could hear the footsteps of the players as they were running, and he loved that. So we came at it from the sound angle. We talked a little bit about the graphics as well, but we wanted to approach Access Football 16 from a gameplay perspective as well. We didn't want it just to look better or have a better shell and the same, core gameplay. We wanted to improve that as well. So we drastically improved the AI within the game. There were a lot of points of feedback given about the blocking. We improved the blocking so that people are making better choices. Offensive linemen will now work together. So instead of, if you've got two guys to block, instead of two guys going after the same guy, they'll realize, okay, hey, my buddy's going to go get that guy. I'm going to go get this guy. And then you don't end up with a guy that's completely unblocked. We worked on pursuit angles and coverages and that sort of thing. So the game is going to look a lot more like what an actual NFL competition is. There's going to be fewer mistakes and that sort of thing. I mentioned before we added animations for juke, spins, and dives, and obviously we gave the player control over when they perform those actions. And that sort of feel adds a lot to the game. So kind of sum things up. It's not just one area that we improved. We tried to build up the game in all of the areas so that we improve everywhere, not just in one area.
You had mentioned, you had limited budget to spend. Obviously you had a Kickstarter that wasn't exactly successful. I'm not going to give your phone number away, but I can confirm for everyone I called you to South Carolina, not from Barbados. What's happening with the money when someone goes and purchases this game? We talked about it initially where it's not so much purchasing the game, but it's making an investment. If someone was on the fence before and they like what they see now and they elect to, pull that trigger and buy a copy of the game, how much of their purchase can they rely going on making this game better in the future?
Almost all of it. And I know the gaming community for football has been through a lot. And I know that last year about this time, when I was talking about the game and saying, believe in it, look at the future, go ahead and buy the game. It's going to get reinvested. I know it's tough to believe, but here we are a year later. Hopefully the proof is in the pudding. If you look at the game, you can see the improvements. I know that this is a long-term thing, and I've said several times on social media or whatever that I'm in this for the long run. And I'm not trying to just make a game and then get out. I want to continue to make a game year after year, and I know the only way to do that successfully is to continue to reinvest any sort of revenue back into the game. That's what we did this past year. We bought all of those animations. Those are custom motion capture animations that don't come cheap. And so we put that money back into the game. We hired the new announcer. We purchased lots of textures. We did lots of stuff that costs money. And so if you're on the fence and you're thinking, I'm not really sure if I want to do this, I encourage you to go back and look at the trailer for the 2015 version and then look at the way the game looks now. Look at the improvements that we've made. Those are the kind of improvements that you're going to see year after year as we continue to reinvest the money that we make through the sales of the game.
And then finally, you had mentioned the future, and recently some things have came to light with what the future of this game could look like. Obviously, a lot of people like to know the progression of things. You talked about starting on the PC, you went to mobile. Obviously, the next direction is console. So you have actually been in contact with a developer of a major console and are looking to actively put the game into the console marketplace?
That is correct. Nothing is set in stone, so we aren't officially announcing that we are coming out on consoles, but we are actively pursuing that. I've been in contact with some guys, and they are interested in the game. They want a little bit more information. I sent them a demo. Our goal is to get on consoles. I would like to do it this year. That is our goal. Again, nothing set in stone. We have always tried to listen to what the community says. And a lot of people play games on PC, but a lot of people only play on console. And so we want to try to bring this option to them as well. So we are looking at that. That is something that we are actively pursuing. And I will keep everyone up to date as to what's going on there.
And as we wrap this up, I guess my question would be, if someone is intrigued now of the possibility of going to console, they decide to make the purchase now, what availability do you know of would have them being able to take that copy they paid for and transfer it over to their console?
I don't know how that process works, to be completely honest. To my knowledge, purchases made, it would be through Steam if they, went ahead and got the PC version. I don't know that they have any sort of relationship with any other consoles, or if those sort of kind of cross platform things exist. So to be completely honest, I just don't know at this point. We have just started that process. But as I get more information, I'll be letting you guys know.
Okay, and then finally, listen, I know that you work on this game a lot, but you've also had a lot of people helping you with this game. I'll give you an opportunity here to thank anybody that maybe has worked behind the scenes a lot with you, and just let them know that you appreciate their efforts, as does the community.
Definitely. So the first two jump out. We got Dollar Jr. and Stackmaster, who have just done a ton with mods. They are going to have, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, they are going to have complete NFL mods ready to go as soon as the game launches. Obviously, we can't put those into the game, but if that's something you're interested in, they're going to have stuff available for you guys to download so you can get that experience. And then I've also had a couple guys that have just basically worked for free. Joe Cardi has, if you look at the new GUI in the game and the design of the menus, he did all of that. He designed it all, and he did it for free. And so I've also got most of the tweets that come out. I say about half the tweets are from me and half are from another guy, Daniel Citron, who has just, again, for free said, hey, I don't know how to program. I'm not good with graphics, but I know how to do marketing and social media. Can I do some stuff for free? Because I just want to help out. And that kind of support from the community is just awesome, because I am one guy, but I'm certainly not doing this alone. And so I certainly appreciate everyone's help, and I'm sure I'm leaving out some people that have been instrumental in the development of this game and its continued growth. So I do thank everyone, and even you, Ryan, who take the time to put out these videos and help spread the word. I do appreciate it.
So any of those people that you forgot want to harass you, or anyone listening now wants to come and help you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
They can shoot me an email. It's danny@axisgamesonline.com. You can reach out to me on Twitter @axisfootball or @axisgamesdev. Either of those, just shoot me a direct message, tweet me, shoot me an email. I check it all, and would love anybody's help.